Because you mentioned Nobi is like kind of like a passive-aggressive like blend between in your face and backing her off, which is always it's very scary to play. They're both rocking
actual mirror match here.
Yeah, both players rocking the double chillas right now. Minimonstr tossing out slightly more arms than Nobi, but otherwise both players not really hitting each other. Finally, the first blow dealt by Minimonstr.
And Minimonstr actually takes advantage of that ice first, which puts him in a definite lead.
Minimonstr trying to back away right now, but still getting hit, getting grabbed right now, getting himself down to half health, but both players with rush ready to go. And that's the thing. Oh, almost able to escape the punish from the rush, but Minimonstr not able to get away in time. Still ready to go.
Nobi is trying to use that Actress Aura, but he's not able to get anything out of it.
Just, at this point, I have to wonder whether Minimonstr is just planning on getting a better read on the way that Nobi is playing neutral and just saving the rush for the next round, because this amount of health deficit, yeah, simply too much. You don't want to waste your entire savings on a round that won't statistically won't be in your favor.
So now Nobi's going to Thunderbolt on Thunderbird, which allows him to get a lot more follow-ups and deal more stun damage.
And it also travels at a more curved arc too, which is going to be important with the way that they keep sidestepping around each other. It's going to limit the horizontal movement options for Minimonstr a lot more.
And you can see that's already doing a ton of impact. With Nobi having the more than 50% lead.
Oh, never mind. It's Minimonstr with the Thunderbird.
Wait, no, it's Nobi.
Oh, it's Nobi's the purple one?
I believe. I'm not.
But in any case,
I believe Nobi always. I believe Nobi usually goes. I believe Nobi usually goes that color Twintelle. Oh, whoa.
All right, but anyway, Nobi now on the very last bit of health, gonna be trying to make this comeback without using his own rush. Oh, gets himself a freeze situation, just closes the gap so that his grab is unreactable, tosses it out, looking for another situation, finding himself again another freeze, getting inside of the unreactable range, but this time Minimonstr is ready, throws out his Thunderburst to stop the grab, and still just barely any health, another situation. He waits, throws out the punches, and right there, Minimonstr already ready for the mix-up, right? Because he remembered I called out the grab last time. He's not going to try to grab me again. So he just kept his shield up, waiting for the 2 punches, and then found his punish right afterwards. So Minimonstr tying that up. Both players with rush ready to go. Even amount of health. But it's Nobi that lands the first hit. And Minimonstr burning up his rush just to escape that whole situation, not wanting to eat that mix-up. And meanwhile, that frees up Nobi, though, to use his rush defensively, getting a full 300 damage onto Minimonstr.
Minimonstr's trying to find the opening as usual. The Thunderbird is definitely a great option here.
It's just trying to find that one right hit, but Nobi being extremely evasive. It's interesting because he's not bringing out the Actress Aura. He's actually using the Chillas themselves as shields to get around everything.
I think he's using it for a very short amount of time. Either that or he's not using it at all, which is something that S3 really likes to use. Where he's just not using it at all.
Yeah, he's mixing it up really well, but Minimonstr is going to find that that opening again with his rush, tying up the percent, finding himself a grab, looking for another one right afterwards, trying to catch the wake up with the Thunderbird, not going to find it. Oh, and the Chilla interrupting the rush. That is huge for Minimonstr.
That's going to give him so much of a lead against this great player.
Nobi, though, not losing confidence at all. Not too much of a deficit already. That first Chilla hit nearly knocking them back to even percent, and only 16 seconds left on that clock. A timeout is a very real possibility.
The corner
going for the rush
home for this match.
Just gonna get that little bit of chip damage, forcing this to be dead even, finding the Chilla hit, but the rush immediately firing back. Nobi taking that, and with a little bit of pop-off to boot, too.
That was an insanely close, just little situation right there.
Down to 4 seconds left. I do respect just popping the rush, just getting the chip damage whatever you can to keep that lead.
They're shaking hands on stage on the first match.
That is incredible. I've heard of like bumping before game 2, but like shaking hands after game 1. That's when you know you have a fire set happening. But so close stuff by Minimonstr. A really good performance against one of the stronger players here today. And that's in a field of just fantastic talent.
And the really interesting thing is that this is just pools.
Yeah.
This isn't top 8. This is pools. And so many things are happening already. Such a big talent pool here right now.
Looks like Minimonstr opting to go to Buster Beach. I think he's looking to try to create those corner situations again because he was able to play off them so well last time. But right now it's his back onto the lower end of the stage. Makes the correct judgment call again. The way that Minimonstr consistently handles that freezing mix-up, it's really impressive. We were talking earlier about how scary that is because you don't really have winning options, but he's come out without damage in a lot of cases. That being said, he's eating quite a few of these Chillas in the neutral, having his forward movement caught by Nobi.
So just looking at how they're playing is that they're just trying to find the opening as they usually do. Oh, but that's it.
Yeah, going to be able to get a solid amount of damage. 330% right there from the rush. Putting Minimonstr still behind, but not as much as he was before. Nobi with rush on deck. Actually, no option coming out from Minimonstr, just waiting to see if he can intimidate Nobi into doing something punishable. The rush being burnt up, eating nothing but shield.
That's going to deal about, I would say, 80 damage, which isn't bad, but it's not good either.
Minimonstr just hoping for one more solid hit to even it up. Meanwhile, himself stuck on a quarter of his health left, using his next rush to break through the shield. Oh my gosh, and just barely any health left on Nobi. Once again, down to the wire finish between these two. Only 15 seconds left on the clock. Nobi working to build up his rush so close to it. And at this point, Minimonstr is content to just holding back, but he finds the one Chilla hit he needed to close out that first round.
That was a really smart hit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone for that.
Being able to call out the jump like that? Minimonstr being very smart in terms of anticipating how Nobi is moving and acting in all sorts of situations, both advantage and disadvantage. Another rush coming out from Nobi. Minimonstr able to block it, eating barely any damage, and still having his own rush ready to go again.
He's just trying to find some sort of just trying to find the little bit of space he needs in order to make the Thunderbird really effective, and he's doing that greatly.
Oh, just right there, the Thunderbird knocking one arm down so the next one can get in, and the electricity freeing up Nobi to get hit by a grab.
That was some electric ice right there.
And getting the full rush.
Rush.
This is really big because Nobi's own rushes keep getting blocked, whereas Minimonstr keeps finding his own confirms into them.
They're in the corner.
And the immediate grab, and that is the scary situation right there.
And they're shaking hands again. Man, they just have such a good camaraderie up here.
At this point, I mean, if Minimonstr can keep up that momentum he had during Game 2, he could take this whole set pretty cleanly. Because the first game, right, it was down to the wire round 3, but that one was just 2 solid rounds back-to-back in Minimonstr's favor. So we might see something very much in his grasp. It all depends on what stage Nobi ends up bringing him.
And they're just going back to sparring ring.
This is interesting. Ordinarily, you do have access to DSR, but it looks like Minimonstr, because of how close that game was earlier, seems comfortable enough to let Nobi get his choice of stage again. Nobi is going to open up with a pretty strong start, though. But Minimonstr's movement staying so fresh, being able to duck and weave through all these Chillas, and just trying to barely find this Thunderbird hit. So far, unsuccessful, though. Nobi laying on the pressure pretty thick with these Chillas. Oh, that was such
really
a
interesting.
That was such a good use of Access Roar, because up until now, Nobi has been pressuring with grabs in the freezing situation. So instead, he punished the punch that was supposed to break through the grab, and then punished Minimonstr for it.
That was a great call-out grab from Minimonstr.
And he's doing another one. Is he going to get the third one? Are we going to be playing grabs?
3.
Nah, they're both just lean on their defensive options, waiting for somebody to throw the first punch, and it's Nobi who throws it first, so he's going to eat a rush from Minimonstr.
And it's just about even now.
And just falling back. Oh no, Minimonstr unable to dodge it, gets picked up with the second half of that rush.
Just had Access Roar out just for such a small amount of time that it just hit.
Nobi taking that first round of Game 3. Just going to be able to punch right through that grab attempt by Minimonstr. Nobi once again riding some early momentum in this game. Backing away from the Access Aura. Nobi wants none of that business. Minimonstr hoping to get some sort of whip punish, it looks like. Not able to find anything too cleanly. Nobi's just not giving him the commitment he wants. Oh, just being able to fade back and punish the attempt right there. Minimonstr looking for something. being unable.
Minimonstr just menacingly walking up.
Oh, Nobi finds himself another rush, and that is such a huge lead. This is the biggest lead we've seen this whole set right now.
Yeah, this is amazingly huge.
And Nobi just looking to clean it up, right? He's just constantly approaching, throwing out fists. He knows if he gets one more, he can take the set, and he finds it, taking out Minimonstr. But Minimonstr with such a good showing up until then, down to 2-1 for Nobi.
You guys couldn't see it, but they were hugging on stage, and Nobi is just throwing up his hands in the air, just saying, I did that.
Yeah, that was such a strong comeback for Game 3.